All right, everybody, welcome to Food Gaming Live. Give me 1 second. All right, showcase is coming up. Give me 1 second. My fucking controls are all messed up. All right, we're watching the Microsoft Showcase, people.
The colony is in disarray. We didn't come to Arcadia to get bogged down in pointless warfare. We came to spread freedom and liberate resources for profit. But this pesky Earth Directorate agent is mucking things up. They're not alone in doing so. And they think they can just choose how things play out. They could stop us from stealing the Protectorate's brainwashing technology, which we need to improve our market share.
You always need that brainwashing technology, right?
With the Order and that world computer of theirs, that could be the key to closing the rifts that threaten the colonies. So, you see why this menace must be wiped from the face of existence. Or, better yet, brought to our side through the power of capitalism. Now, let's get out there and buy our way to victory!
I'm yearning and yearning for you. My heart and
All right, so I'm going to assume this is the Outer, I think it's called the Outer Wilds. This is a sequel. I haven't played the first one. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
intended for you. Although the cost may be high, one day
I get kind of annoyed by this music that all kind of sounds the same. It's just sort of like a movie trailer. No, they always have those thumping drums. It's kind of annoying, really. It's a cliche.
cause I'm yearning and burning for you.
All right, so there it is. The Outer Worlds 2. Coming out October 29th. And it's coming to PlayStation 5.
Staying tuned after the showcase.
I don't really know Xbox if that's the best move to just like have no exclusives at all, right? I know. That's a long discussion. We're not going to go into that.
Babe, what's wrong?
I'm sorry. I've just been so depressed lately.
You know, it would fix everything. Humanzapro.
I forgot the name of this game, but actually I played a little bit and I actually did enjoy it. People don't know, if you didn't see it in the description, we were watching the Microsoft Showcase. Oh, well, I don't know why that's not working. Great, sorry about that. I think the game's called High on Life. I actually did enjoy the first one. I actually didn't beat it, but what I did play of it, I did like.
Scientists have done studies, and their brains are like half the size of ours.
Salute Fu, has Keyshawn Davis been arrested yet? Sadly, no. All right, sorry people, our chat is not working. I'm gonna try to fix that in the middle of the show. As always.
World premiere.
All right, got another world premiere. In-game footage, all right. So, I mean, the other game, High on Life, I'm pretty sure it's not an exclusive. There are no exclusives. This looks like this might be a Hellblade. Damn, stabbed him. That must have hurt. A lot of heavy breathing in this game. Who's making those horn sounds? There's something very Hellblade about this. Oh, it's from I guess it's like a spin-off of the Plague's Tale. That looks kind of interesting. Was that in-game graphics? 'Cause I'm not too sure. All right, what's this? Is this their handheld? Looks like it might be. Ah, it's just a transparent cube, huh? There's been rumors of Xbox putting out a handheld. Maybe this is a new controller? Looks sort of like a Wii U control. What the? Maybe I'll do like those the fake YouTubers do and be like, oh my god, what is this? Huh, I don't know what this is. Run! What hit? Hey, that ain't an Xbox control. What? That ain't Xbox. It's got ROG on it. Your games. Damn. I heard they were teaming up with this company, but you know, I don't know what they're doing with them. What they do? They have an app now that's streamlined. Oh, Xbox inspired controls. Oh, they got impulse triggers. That's kind of cool, I guess, on a portable, right? Impulse triggers. Couldn't they just take that ROG thing off and just put Xbox on there? Make it easier, right? Say, oh, here's our portable. Ah, okay. Have to go read about that and see what that's about.
At Xbox, we strive to put the player first. And that's what you've seen from us over the years. We've led the industry with backward compatibility. We championed crossplay and cross-progression.
Yes.
We delivered Game Pass, first on console, then on PC, and with cloud gaming. So what's next? How can we
what is next?
More freedom, more choice, more ways to play?
I need more choice.
The next step is to unify your gaming no matter where you buy or play.
Uh-huh.
So we're building an Xbox experience designed for players, not locked to a single store or tied to one device.
Maybe Bob should come in here. I don't know where Bob is.
Xbox you can hold in your hands, bringing together the power of Xbox and the freedom of Windows. On this Xbox, you can play games across your entire library, including all the Windows PC game stores, from Xbox and Battle.net to Steam, GOG, and Ubisoft Connect.
Okay.
And the highly anticipated Hollow Knight Silksong will be available at launch and in Game Pass when the Ally releases later this year. In fact,
So it supports Game Pass.
in today's show will be playable on the Xbox Ally.
But the thing is right now is that on the Steam Deck you can't.
Unique experience.
They don't have that Xbox game. Xbox. What do they call it? The app integration into the Steam Deck.
On console, PC, smart TV.
So I guess they've allied with the Ally.
The Xbox experience roams with you. Your library, progression, friends, and achievements. There are over 1,000 Xbox Play Anywhere games on Xbox today. And every new game you see in today's show
So this is integrated with the Ally.
is Xbox Play Anywhere. And because it's Xbox,
El Pinchy says it's going to be better than Steam Deck.
biggest franchises,
I don't know. I'd have to look at it and look at some of the specs.
the freedom we believe players should have. Any game, anywhere. And we are giving it our all every day to make this vision real. But it all comes back to the games. From Dead to Rights on the original Xbox to Armored Core 6, our relationship with Bandai Namco Entertainment has stood the test of time. We both believe in bringing amazing experiences to players around the world, and their next game does exactly that. From Rebel Wolf Studio, this is a story-rich action RPG steeped in dark fantasy that I can't wait for you to explore. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
The blood of Dawnwalker. This guy walks at dawn. Dang. So this is in-game footage. That's cool. Oh, he smacked him and then he got bit.
Been here. Watching from the shadows. And when we were at our weakest, they came out into the light. We feared for our lives. But we should have feared for our souls instead.
True, true.
The vampires didn't come to kill us. No.
I mean, why would vampires do that? Oh, okay.
To turn us into mindless, docile cattle. Not me, though. They tried to change me into one of them. But I became something else instead.
Became a vampire that moves around like Morph. Or Nightcrawler from X-Men. Oh, you guys, what? You guys like Spider-Man. This spider vampire.
Trapped between the two worlds. Fighting to even the score.
Wait, is this White Blade?
To understand the evil behind it all. He is out there watching, seeping into you.
That dude was dancing. In 2026, get ready to bite. Xbox is really biting the competition. No, they're not biting them in the like imitating kind of way. There it goes, people. The blood of dawn walking. I gotta be honest, it's kind of a bad name. You see that? He's in between two worlds. Isn't that cool? Like I said, he's like White Blade. Food, did you ever play Ghost of Tsushima? No, I haven't played it, but I do own it. I'm going to get around to playing it on the channel. It's one of the reasons I got a PS5 was to play those PS4 games. Play them, you know, where they look better. Is this Super Mario? What the hell? This is an Xbox showcase. This looks kind of cute, doesn't it? It doesn't look as graphically good as I thought it was going to look. I think this is called Meat Boy or something. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I've never played it, but I've seen it. There's some Titanfall stuff going on here, huh? Yeah, there's a lot of jumping going on here. It looks kind of interesting. Some really complicated looking level design, right? Looks like so yeah. So there you go. It's on Game Pass. Everything's on Game Pass here, people. Xbox Game Studio presents. Here we go. Oh, in-game footage and cinematics.
Watch your back. Yakumo.
Oh, Team Ninja. Ninja. Is this Dead or Alive? Platinum Games. Oh, this Ninja Gaiden, it looks like. Damn, bloody, huh?
Breaking the Dark Dragon free has its consequences. This is it.
Thanks a lot, Bob says phenomenal stream. Of course, of course.
There's something I need your help with.
You got to get a Discord, Bob, so we can do these streams in separate spaces. Well, actually, I think Bob does have a Discord. All right, so this is looking very, very Ninja Gaiden-esque. It may have something to do with the fact that it is Ninja Gaiden. Not too sure if I'm too into that character's,
The Dark Dragon is mine.
the design of him. Not a big into that suit. Ninja Gaiden 4, you mother effers. You know, I've never beat a single Ninja Gaiden game in my life. Not one. They're good. I do enjoy what I played of them, but I never beat any of them. I'm going to get around to it. I'm going to do it. No doubt about it. You know, Indiana Jones. I guess they got an expansion.
Here we go.
Good luck, Indy.
What are you doing, Jones? Are you crazy?
This is where it starts. Beneath the streets of Rome. Enter the city of Antioch. Find the secret relic. Bring it back to the Holy See.
Mm-hmm. Seems like a good idea.
The secret. They worshipped the giants.
You know, one of my issues with this game, I played a little bit of the one they just released. One of my issues is that I shot a dude and then it ended up turning into like a first-person shooter, and I was shooting everyone. It's weird for Indiana Jones to just be mowing dudes down like that, you know? September 4th, it's going down. Xbox Play Anywhere here.
World premiere.
People, I really miss E3. Like, this is cool, but like, you just have these guys just slamming out one video after another. It doesn't give you that kind of like E3 feeling, you know, when you have like the roar of the crowd. You have the different developers come out and talk about it and set it up before they show it. You know, this is just bam, 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 bam. It's just video after video. It's cool, but, you know, it's not the same as E3. And E3 was a multiple day, like, almost like a celebration of gaming. It's sorely missed. It really is. For me, it is. It's a big loss in gaming. This actually looks pretty good. Graphically, this is looking kind of cool. I'm gonna guess this is that Wolong or whatever they call it. That's another game I want to get into. You haven't gotten into. There's a lot of games I want to play. Look at her. She's stone-faced. She's a stone-faced killer. This is very, very Asian. I just got to be honest, and that's that in a good way. Listen to that music. It makes me cry a little bit. One drop of blood on the lip. It's like a sexy cry, but on the lip with blood. Beast of reincarnation. Aw, this is very heartwarming. All right, so it doesn't say anything. Oh, it does say PS5. All right, that looked kind of cool in a way. Except I just feel like the character looks a little too stoic. Not much emotion there. The music is very sappy too. Need to work on those facial animations.
Avalon sure do shine, because they suit their filth down to us.
Get your paper in. Who's for a paper?
I guess this is We Happy Few, maybe?
Here's to playing in the mud.
Got a very Bioshock look.
Life here ain't for the soft-hearted.
You will be paying me back until you fucking rust.
Oh, nice beard.
For the spineless.
Keep your filthy pickers off me!
And as sure as shite ain't for the decent.
That's a clean sweep for one.
There has been a crime! Justice itself has been affronted! I have been burgled!
Lord Griswick.
Bertolt!
Yes, I got that part. Do you know anyone who might wish you ill? We can't arrest and question everyone. Let's see if we can narrow the suspects down a bit.
They were,
Trust your instincts, sir.
tall,
Yes, sir.
built rather slim, well, muscular. Mm-hmm. Was very quick, agile.
Go on.
With a mustache. No, larger.
I see.
Quite fashionable. That's the fiend who robbed me.
They got my good side this time. Breaking in is the easy part.
Oh man, this guy peed himself. What the F?
Getting away with it is the real trick.
These candlesticks ain't gold. Worthless and dull, just like you. Nah, I have a customer. How can I help you?
I'd rather talk to you, Errol. Sounds like I'll get a better deal.
You talk to me first, and him.
What a beard, huh?
Got it.
Uncle's a bit touchy, ain't he, Errol?
Well, branching text. Wow, they're showing off those
Care to say
new features, man, of groundbreaking features.
brains? If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it.
I'm pretty sure this is We Happy Few.
Empty pockets. And blood on the cobbles. Goodbye, Silas.
I'll hurt you, you fucking meatsack! I'll leave you with a pissing pan of peaches!
You'd either got a gang at your back, or a knife in it.
We're family here. Family takes care of its own.
Can't put a price on that, can you?
Them's in charge. They don't keep order. They keep power.
Take this thing into the crucible and melt it.
They just want us beaten, broken, and too scared to fight back.
I don't want to kill him.
That's why it pays to be clever and well-armed. Let's go and end a few arguments. Don't get cocky. They've got a weapon far worse. Time.
El Pinchy says that all these games are kind of similar. Yeah, this looks a little bit like Bioshock, I feel like.
They can rewrite us.
And it doesn't look too dissimilar from the what is it? The Lost Worlds. It doesn't look that different from it.
Put the bullet back in the barrel. Bring the chaos to a crawl. Take a mistake and make it like it never happened. We can change the world as we know it. One choice at a time. And I can even go...
El Pinchy in the comments says, I'm not a fan of video games trying to be movies. I kind of like them sometimes, you know? There's a place for them, I think.
Like it when the rabbits got the gun.
But I don't want all games to be like movies, you know? This looks more gameplay heavy. Like it's, you know, it looks like an FPS game in the vein of like, you know, a BioShock. It even looks like BioShock. It's got like that steampunk aesthetic. All right. So it is not We Happy Few.
Piss off.
It looks interesting, I think. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the art style, but it doesn't look bad.
Creative teams are dedicated to bringing players award-winning, record-breaking, critically acclaimed
So many reflections.
Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 from Activision.
Again, people, this ain't like E3. This is so stilted. I've never been a fan of these kind of like dead, pre-recorded, you know, presentations. Just not big into it. Bring back E3, bro. What the heck?
And they're also delivering more content.
This is like a Nintendo Direct, which I was never a fan of.
Experiences to vast online worlds. Our teams are empowered to build the games they've always dreamed of. We want our players to have the choice and flexibility of where and how they play the game.
You need a crowd there, man.
So, of course, our games will be available day one in Game Pass, and every new game we make for both Xbox consoles and PC will be Xbox Play Anywhere. On behalf of our creative teams, thank you. These experiences don't stop when you put down the controller. As you've seen in recent years, more and more of our characters, stories, and worlds are expanding to brand new audiences through...
It's a good thing he did that with his hands, or I wouldn't have known what he meant.
And the Fallout TV series broke records and brought millions of players into the game. We have more projects in the works as gaming continues to influence film and television like never before. When it comes to growing new franchises, Obsidian is having a year like no other. From launching a blockbuster new game like Avowed to the upcoming release of The Outer Worlds 2 this October. Obsidian is always delivering great games, and they have a third game launching this year. You'll get to go deeper on it.
I thought he was gonna say launching today. El Pinchy says, did you like Overwatch? I own Overwatch, I just never really got into it. So I'm kind of indifferent on it. I gotta play it some more, see if I'm into it. It reminds me of Shadowrun, which I actually really did enjoy Shadowrun. I feel like Shadowrun was the first game that did that. Blended together that kind of FPS with the magic abilities. What is this?
With new flexible legs, the Yoke Girth action figure can ride anything.
It's like He-Man.
Breaking news. There's been an explosion at Brook Hollow Park. Chaos descended on a ceremony commemorating the 2-year anniversary of when 4 teenagers were miniaturized against their will and left to fight for their survival in the backyard of a deranged scientist. Formerly evil company Ominent Practical Technologies was set to dedicate a statue of the 4 teenagers, fast food science robot Burgle, and Dr. Tully when an explosion erupted. Dr. Tully and the teenagers' current whereabouts are also unknown.
It's kind of running a little slow, isn't it? Like, let's get into the game, buddy. Let's see it.
You gotta keep them separated.
There's that game they have that's sort of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I think it's called Grounded. Never played it, but you know, I guess some people like them. I'll try to get into it, see if I like it. So far, they're showing a lot of an established franchises. Not too exciting, I feel like. I guess if you know these games and you're into them, then, you know, then yeah, you might be happy about this stuff. I really dislike how all the trailers are very similar to like these really generic movie trailers you have today. It's all the same little like big slamming sounds. It's just identical to. Oh yeah, that's the sequel to Grounded. Okay. I guess that came out of nowhere, right?
The predecessor, ND35.
This is the game from the creators of I forgot the name of it. I think it's called Layers of Fear. Or Medium, the Medium, which is like a spiritual successor to Silent Hill. This is the game they're working on. I guess they're gonna the Blooper team, yeah. Or Bloober.
Was in a state of suppressed recomposition. The behavior pattern of the orphans populated.
These are the guys that just made the new Call of Duty. Not Call of Duty. The new Silent Hill. The remake of the second title. Second game.
They become exceptionally aggressive.
Again, this does not have original music. It's like every other modern sci-fi film. You know, this. It's just that it doesn't have that creepiness, you know, like a Silent Hill or something.
They seem to act more consistent.
It looks sort of like Dead Space.
Destroying the nest is now a priority. Such is our calling.
It's kind of slow paced.
Such is our calling.
All right, so it's coming out this year. Not much there. I mean, we already knew that game was coming to the Xbox. It's like, okay, wow, now we know it's still coming to the Xbox. And I guess that's the reveal, right? I don't know if the date of it. I mean, that really wasn't a date. That was just the year. It's coming out this year, supposedly. Again, this is like a new trend that's been going on for a couple of years now in cinema, where they just play other people's music. Like, how are you playing this song for an Elder Scrolls video? It's not really period appropriate, is it? I mean, I know it's a fantasy game, but still, look, come on. All right, so what I'm gonna do right now, people, is I'm gonna mute this because that's royalty. That is not royalty-free music. That's a very well-known song, so we're not going to play that because they might just kill the damn stream. All right, you got a woodman dancing. You got all kinds of stuff going on here. And again, a lot of these games are looking kind of samey same, I feel like. All right, all kinds of stuff here. You got a cat with a witch hat. What do you think of this, Bob? Are you liking this? Bob's in the comments, people. You guys liking what you're seeing? Showcase so far, not really showing anything really surprising. Like I said, it's just a bunch of, for the most part, it's a bunch of established titles. They've all been out for a series of months or even a couple of years, right? We've known about these titles. They're most of these are unknown games, and it's presented in such a stilted way. I really do not like it. I feel like E3 should. There's a big void, I think, in gaming culture without E3. They need to bring it back. This stuff is so not. It just doesn't have the feel at all. You know, E3, you hear the roar of the crowd. You know, there's a lot of things to it. And then it was like a 3-day celebration. They had people at this convention playing games, new games. They'd have so much content. It was great. No one could tell me that this is better for the gaming industry than E3. Because E3, these guys had. Gaming media had loads and loads and loads of stuff to show. You know, they had all this new content. You know, the live gameplay and all that.
There's no time.
This looks like this might be Mass Effect.
Come in.
Is that Rosario Dawson? That's who it sounds like.
You sacrificed everything for a new world to save mankind, and I'll always love you for that.
It looked like Mass Effect for a second there. Oh, there you go. Let's play some more non-original music for your new game, right? I just think that's so... I gotta just say it. It's pathetic. Guys, you gotta come up with an original score. This whole thing of playing all these popular songs sucks. You gotta have an original score. All the movies do this too. It looks kind of cool, but once again, I mean, do we have to make all the leads in video games now ladies? I mean, I'm not impressed. You know, I like ladies like you know, like the next guy. But like all the games now got to be like a black lady as the lead. I mean, you know, the majority of your audience are, especially in the States, they're most likely white dudes. Like, just got to say it, you know.
Thomas, wherever you are.
It looks interesting. I mean, it feels like every game you're playing as a lady now. El Pinchy says art house BS. Oh, there's her lover. Wait, is it gonna turn into a monster? Is there a dinosaur in there? What the hell? I heard like a dinosaur. I don't know what that is. Oh, I guess they're dealing with some dudes who know about space. It's coming 2026. I'm still waiting for that game with the trans woman of color. Hopefully that was a trans woman. Just saying. Just on a side note, you know.
Welcome to England, Mr. David. I know this must be a shock, having never met your real father, but he left you this hotel in his will. It's been in your family for generations. Much like the caretaker. He's a little eccentric. You'll see.
Let me welcome you to the...
Again, here's another game that looks very samey. Same. Outer Worlds. A lot of these titles are looking very same.
Every room used to be...
Except have like this kind of clay look to it.
Your wish I'll command here at the grand.
Is that another shooter?
It looks like you're about to do some renovation.
And it looks like that whole Fallout thing, you know. Nice painting, nice.
So, my father was renovating the hotel when he disappeared?
Not just the hotel. He was helping the entire village. You have his power tools. You know, you could pick up where he left off. You seem like a good man, like he was.
I'm in.
El Bravarino says I'm stoked about Indiana Jones, but the rest of them are kind of meh for me. Yeah.
They will wicker man your ass.
You keep looking into things, and things are gonna start looking back. Don't make the same mistake your father made. In this place, the only one you can really trust is me.
Yeah, it's a cat. I feel like a lot of these games look like they're built on the same engine. It just looks so similar. Again, you got another game that's got a cover of another song. This has been happening for too long. You guys need to make original scores for your games. And for movies too. Like, man. There Are No Ghosts at the Grand. I mean, that's an interesting looking title. Didn't seem much like a game. Looks like a sitcom. Where's the Gears of War, people? Let's see something. Come on, Xbox. I mean, you're gonna be showing all these established games.
And when we need their help, they send us a...
Oh, Bob Reno in the comments says, did y'all watch last Indiana Jones movie? I did it. I haven't. Oh, this is in-game footage, people. They ain't playing.
But is she worthy?
Yeah, okay. Dragon Smash. Oh. This is mad Asian, people. 3 chicken wing with the fried rice. That's the song they should have played for this. You know, they keep playing other people's songs or established songs. 3 chicken wing with the fried rice. That's what they should have played. Damn it. That's a missed opportunity. People probably would have thought that's offensive, but I don't think it is. I think it's bringing everyone together through chicken and fried rice. 3 chicken wing with the fried rice. And that song is pretty catchy, man. Just gotta say it. Maybe not deep lyrically, but it's very, very, very catchy.
주권 국가의 자주적 결정을 누가 허락하는가? 만약 이 결정이 패권 국가의 특정 정치 집단의 이익을 저해한다면
What is this, Metal Gear?
당신의 특정 행동이 대중의 의사결정에 영향을 미칠 수 있으며 반대로 누군가는 당신의 의사결정을 한다는 것을 인지할 때
Colonel, what's a hindy doing here?
세울 수 있지 않을까?
Snake.
온전한 본인의 판단인가?
Damn, that dude is being tortured.
그렇게 믿고 있거나.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
믿고 싶을 뿐.
Damn, it's bloody, huh? Wait, is this a John Woo production? I feel like, is this gonna be Stranglehold 2? The game we've all been waiting for? Chow Yun Fat's returned? Damn, this is looking very Metal Gear-esque. I heard Kojima said he's returning to what they call technical something espionage games. Maybe this is what this is. This is looking kind of cool, actually. Is this? It looks like Splinter Cell, or like, this is looking kind of awesome. I just gotta be honest. And graphically, it reminds me of I forgot the name of that game, that horror game. Tell you about it. I'll tell you later. It reminds me of that game that's sort of like Dead Space. Like graphically, it looks like that. Damn, I forget the name of it. Oh, Callisto Protocol. That's what it reminds me of. This graphically, which is probably one of my best looking games this generation. This looks good, really good. This looks good. Wait, what does that mean? Yeah. That looks actually pretty cool. That's probably for me, one of the games of the show so far. Not only does it look good graphically, gameplay looks really cool. Music's kind of typical, but I did like the way it looked. It looked like a high action Metal Gear, but really high quality graphics. And it looked, the gameplay and the animations, everything looked good. I am interested. Now let's get back to this stuff. Just so you guys know, this is in-game footage. I know it was kind of unbelievable that this would be in-game because it's so graphically intensive. You just wouldn't believe it. Are there no games in English at this show? Oh, that's a problem. Did you have a feeling? I got a feeling. That's when the Black Eyed Peas song kicks in, just to be as unoriginal as possible, you know? In 2026. This looks like this was from the makers of Limbo, which is another game I want to get into. I'm going to play it on the channel one day. This looks like this is in the vein of games like Dark Heart or Heart of Darkness or Out of This World, which was also heavily inspired, which is what the games that heavily inspired games like Limbo. It's kind of cool looking in a way, you know? Story-based, side-scrolling platformer. Puzzle solver as well. It's kind of what these game, I assume that's what this is like. This is actually more interesting to me than some of these bigger games with all the, 3D graphics that look like fake BioShock. Yeah, that looks kind of interesting. Oh, this is a sequel? All right, looks kind of interesting. I'm going to assume that's going to be on Game Pass, right? All right, Xbox Play Anywhere and Xbox Game Pass. So yeah, cool. It sucks that they don't have Game Pass on the damn Steam Deck. So that's why they got that ROG deal going on, right? It's gonna run all your Game Pass titles.
Well, hello.
I don't see why Microsoft, why didn't it align with Valve and make that Xbox app work through the Steam Deck?
When it comes to fishing, Appalachia is a land aswim with opportunity. Yes, you'll find fish of all
Let me guess, BioShock?
walk of waterway, from its mightiest of rivers to its humblest of ponds.
Again, people, a lot of these games are very samey.
Cast your line, and when you're
This has got that same style, like Fallout kind of thing. They're doing this too much.
worms. And how are they biting today?
Yeah, this is definitely Fallout. You see that thing on his arm?
Oh, bagging the big fish?
A lot of these games they show today feel like Fallout.
Many unique combinations of rods, reels, bobbers, and baits as there are fish in the sea. And when you've caught your fill, pop over to the local tackle shop to swap fish tails. Can you smell that? No matter what troubles plague the future wastelands of Appalachia, you can always find comfort in cozy little joys like this. You just gotta know where to look. Vault Life is your ticket to easy living. Design and build your own little slice of paradise. A place to show off all the bits and bobs you collect in your travels. Got a green thumb?
It's just the show's got a really slow pace to it. This is just really slow.
Like a neighborhood cookout.
This is not. This show I don't think is very well paced. It's just too slow moving.
And tomorrow you'll be kicking back.
They could have started the show with this.
In beautiful Appalachia.
Yeah, not. I mean, never been a big Fallout guy, but I'm not. That really didn't get me wanting to play Fallout either. Oh, it's in-game footage. It's kind of, I guess, kind of a cool art design, seems like so far. It's definitely a departure from a lot of this funny, weird claymation-looking stuff we've been watching. A lot of these games don't look like high production. You know, they don't have a high production value. Like, a lot of this stuff looks like some indie titles. I feel like if you're gonna go for a cartoon look, you really got to go for that cel-shaded look. There's something about this where it just doesn't look quite cartoon enough. Yeah, I don't know what the heck that was. It's like an overhead hack and slash title.
World premiere.
Barbarino in the comments says, very lame preview for Fallout, but Fallout has always been more style than substance for me. And then she also says, this is why I think they're all AI generated. I mean, it does get to the point that I feel like this stuff is AI generated because a lot of it just looks the same. And it's just uninspired. You watch it and it's like the music is not very good and the graphics aren't, and nothing. Then it just does. There's not a lot of creativity here. It looks like AI could generate some of this stuff. It's probably what's happening for a lot of this stuff. This looks kind of cute, right? The graphics look pretty decent. But what the heck's going on here? It's like a fever dream. I think an AI just spit out a bunch of ideas. Look at him. Hit it with a hammer. Yeah, baby. Violent, weird star thing. This is really violent for the music that's playing, yeah? I mean, graphics are kind of pretty. Actually, shockingly, the graphics look pretty good in there. It's weird, weird game. Gameplay wise,
thanks to everyone for all.
Tony Hawk looking like a mess.
Since we announced Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4,
he's like an 80-year-old, 15-year-old.
Changed my life. But more than that, I've seen them help spread a love and appreciation for skating.
This guy, he's reminding me of RFK.
I can't wait for you all to experience the game. It's been rebuilt with so much care and attention.
Hey guys, I'm a little boy.
New parks, new music, new skaters, and more. And you can enjoy.
I think if this guy skates and falls off the skateboard, he's going to shatter into pieces.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 officially drops July 11th.
This guy doesn't have eyebrows.
A lot more surprises to come. Check out the launch trailer now.
Oh, here comes the launch trailer. Activision presents. Isn't that funny? Xbox owns Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I mean, about 20 years ago, that probably would have been a really big deal, right? Not exactly the most graphically impressive, right? You would think they'd be doing really good graphics, but I would say push it, push it. Get some really crazy, ultra realistic graphics, but it's not what they're going for. I mean, look how stiff this looks. My God, that's supposed to be Bam, whatever the hell his name is. Dude, he looks terrible. But guys, you got to work on your damn graphics. What the heck's going on? Why are these games still looking like not great? Okay, so we got Ninja Turtles and Tony Hawk. Maybe they're trying to go for an older aesthetic, but in high res. Because I mean, these graphics look really like dated. I feel like Skate on the Xbox 360 looked better, but it's supposed to be Tony Hawk 3 and 4, I guess. Oh, you got the Doom guy in there? I mean, like, it's trying to have, like, kind of that old aesthetic. Alright, so the demo's out. Alright, July 11th. I actually picked up a copy of Tony Hawk. It was on sale at Walmart. It was brand new. I got it on the PS5. I might play it on the channel. I actually really loved Tony Hawk Pro Skater as a kid. It's one of my favorite game franchises. It had a lot of, like, achievements. That was like having achievements before Xbox created the achievement system. Right, it had like, yeah, another cartoonish looking game. Just so you guys know, this is actual gameplay. That's probably what they're gonna say next. It's like, bro, this is real gameplay. He just keeps running. Oh, Tony Hawk's almost 70, really? Wow. I just said he looked like RFK, which might be a compliment. I'm talking to people in the comments. Let's see if the chat works while we're watching this to me, very uninteresting looking title. Okay, so I got my thing there. I'm gonna see if I can fix that while we're watching this video. I don't understand what the hell's wrong with this. Why my screen's not showing up there. All right, so that's a game that not too into the way it looks. All right. 1 second, just trying to fix the chat. Oh, this looks like this might be Gears of War, so I'm going to turn this off. This might be that Ultimate, Gears of War Ultimate. People, I love Gears of War. It's one of my favorite franchises. This might just be the remake, the remaster, whatever the heck they call it. It's gonna be on PS5. Gears of War cross-platform.
You think you can still find your way back home, Phoenix?
Looks like they upgraded. How's your baby? Let's do this.
Let's do this.
This is gonna be awesome. Form up!
All right, August 26th. There you go. PS5. It's just kind of weird to see an Xbox showcase and it's got PS5 in there. Sony will never do that for them, right? Sony will come out there and claim that third-party games are first-party games. These guys are putting Sony and all that. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea. Hopefully it pays off. What is this, Persona? Okay. Okay, so Persona's on Xbox, just so you know. I don't really care. I never got into that series. Only game I really thought looked really good was that weird, like, Splinter Cell Metal Gear looking game. Now I guess Sea of Thieves.
But you won't see us. You won't hear us.
It's just people. It's just they need to bring back that whole E3 thing. This is so stilted. It's just one video after another video, and it's completely flat. It's you need someone there to set it up. You have to hear the crowd.
Others are afraid to handle guns, explosives,
And don't forget the rum.
It's a life of danger like no other. So I guess my question is, can you
I should funnel some audio from E3 from like 10 years ago into this event, this little press video thing that's going on here, pre-recorded.
Is what we're really after. The bigger the room, the better.
All right, we'll look at the chat for a second.
Smugglers need to be adaptable.
Now that I got it to work.
The moonlight and shadows. You should be ready to take advantage of others.
No, I don't think Tony Hawk is attractive, which has nothing to do with the Xbox showcase. Fulio said he was ugly. Tell him to stay on topic.
Just do whatever.
I could say whatever I want because I'm the host of this little presentation. Well, this presentation of a presentation. Never got into Sea of Thieves. Anybody in the comments like Sea of Thieves?
to the Smugglers League?
Yeah, some people like it. I'm not really into it. And it's another game that looks like clay. They said a lot of these games, they're looking very much the same. And now Sea of Thieves had this kind of art style a few years ago, and it looked kind of original. The water looks amazing in that Sea of Thieves game, but you know, it's a lot of stuff looking very samey same.
World premiere.
Oh, whoa, he cursed.
Hope you're not in a hurry because northbound is backed up all the way to 18.
Another cartoon game.
Ridiculous.
And it's got that kind of like Spider-Man look to it. It's all the rage now, right? It's like 15 frames or something. It looks like it's supposed to be superheroes.
Not even close.
I don't know how people don't find that annoying. That's kind of like Spider-Man metaverse shit where the frames are all slow. I mean, I guess it looks sort of cool. But yeah, it just looks like a game that needs to raise the frame rate on it.
I hoped you'd understand why I had to do this. Accept our rule or die.
Dude's got a pretty hard mustache, bro. Whoa, she's not wearing pants? Oh, okay, she is. She's wearing paint.
Not your son anymore. I'm the guy who's
Damn, that dude's bloody.
throw you off this planet for good.
Look at this guy. This guy's a total Chad. Fight. Oh, it's okay. So it's a fighting game. That's a good turn. This is Mortal Kombat or something?
Ready to bleed? This is over.
Oh, insert hip hop.
All right, coming through.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. They need to put some Kanye in there, bro. It's kind of distracting at times. It looks like that lady doesn't have pants on. This guy's eyeballs popping out.
I am ending you.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I think it's probably like Justice League, I'm guessing. Or it's probably created by the team that made Mortal Kombat. Am I wrong? Actually, it's not, but it looks just like Mortal Kombat, sort of, in a way. Kind of interesting, I guess, for a fighting game. It's kind of violent. Oh, Final Fantasy. I guess it's finally coming to Xbox. You got Sony, you got Xbox over here helping Sony by putting all these titles on their platform. But Sony literally paid to not have this title put on the Xbox for probably close to, I would say, it's been years. It's been a long time. Coming this winter, Sony paid to have this game not on this platform for over, probably 6-7 years. It's been years. Finally, that's why I'm saying, like, at some point, Microsoft should just put the hammer down and be like, bro, we're pulling Call of Duty from your platform. We're pulling all this, but instead, they're trying to play nicey nice and put everything on their system. And that's not really the smartest move. I mean, these guys, Sony dragged these guys through the courts, probably cost them millions of dollars over the acquisition of Activision. Doing all kinds of dirty practices to try to get these guys where they couldn't buy that company. So it's more Final Fantasy.
But she may yet be saved by you.
World premiere, world premiere. Another thing they used to do back in the day at these press conferences, or when they had press conferences, they would actually play the games live. Like, this is it being played right now on Xbox. This looks like it's Psychonauts or something. It's Double Fine. So, they are the creators of Psychonauts and Brutal Legend. You play as a light tower. Are you kidding? No. You actually play as a light tower. I kind of think that's interesting that you play as that character there, Keeper. That looks interesting. Like art wise, I actually like the way that looks. What do you guys think?
Games like Psychonauts.
Oh, Phil Spencer, he lost weight.
Excels at creating unique and innovative experiences, and Keeper is no exception. Looking ahead, next year marks 25 years of Xbox. It's a big milestone for the platform and franchises that you helped build and make popular. We couldn't have done this without
crowds
with us on this journey. As we think about bringing a new generation of players to these iconic franchises, I'm excited to share that players will get to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. Today, you've seen an incredible range of games from creators across the globe. Creators like inXile, reaching for new heights with Clockwork Revolution. Sluggerfly, making Team Meat's modern classic platformer into 3D. Square Enix, bringing more of the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy franchise to our players. And Team Ninja, returning to the beloved series they debuted on Xbox. You've also seen the next Xbox hardware release, our Xbox Ally handheld, which lets you bring your Xbox experience and your library with you anywhere. I hope you enjoyed the breadth and depth of the games.
Let me go look that thing up later and see what the text like on that thing.
From our partners and our own creative teams. We're seeing more players on our platform and in our games than ever, thanks to all of you. We're proud of the creativity that... All
right, Bob's got me sent an E, thank you.
Immediately after Showcase, our Direct begins, where you'll go inside the studio for an extended look at The Outer Worlds 2 and Grounded 2. Thanks for joining us today. But before we get into the Direct, we have a final world premiere. Enjoy.
Maybe it's E-Day. That's my guess.
World premiere.
So we got Butterfly, what the heck?
Welcome to the Guild. We have been expecting you. Please, follow me.
Looks like Titanfall. I think this might be...
You already know us as a global tech leader. Our software, our systems, combined with our skilled team.
Something very Titanfall about the water there. The little fountains on the sides.
Your years of service have shown you the importance of our work. Here, you'll witness the global scope of that mission in action.
Is this Call of Duty?
Introduce you to our esteemed visionary.
I know that actor from the show Heroes.
We have been bound by outdated systems, accepting limitations instead of redefining them. The Guild is safeguarding tomorrow, now. We are pioneering the future of protection worldwide. Our advancements are designed to elevate everyday life, reshaping the future of technology on a global scale. I'm Emma Kagan, CEO of the Guild.
That Nine Inch Nails music in here. What is this? Quantum Break 2? This thing is made by the teams that made Alan Wake.
Fear is a powerful thing. David Mason. Menendez.
I guess it's Call of Duty. The Black Ops 7. Okay. It doesn't seem like much of a reveal. I mean, come on. It's Call of Duty. Like, okay. Oh, you're making another Call of Duty. That's a shocker. I mean, we just got Call of Duty Black Ops 6 like a few months ago. That really, you're going to end the show with that, Microsoft? It's like, by the way, guys, we got Call of Duty Black Ops 7 right after Part 6 just came out. A world premiere. And it's cool, you know, they got that actor in there, but like, really? Not much of a reveal there. It looks like now they're going behind the scenes with Obsidian. While they're going behind the scenes, remember to subscribe to the Real Food TV, the greatest channel known to man. You're watching the Xbox Showcase. I need to create a scoring system in here because...
Welcome to Obsidian Entertainment.
I mean, they put out a lot of big hitters, didn't they?
This has been the year of
They put out some, you know, Doom, The Dark Ages came out.
And what better way to cap this incredible year for us than by doing what our studio does best, sequels.
I mean, some people might say...
Thank you so much.
Might say, oh, it's not too impressive, but come on, look, if these guys were to hold these titles specifically to Xbox, it would be a lot more, but you know, they're showing PlayStation 5 on all these games.
Worth remembering. No sequel, no hoverboard. No sequel, no dual SMGs. No sequel, no Raccoon Tail. No sequel, no Zune 2, which doesn't really exist, but I wish it had.
There was a Zune 2.
There was a Zune 2. I'm Mark, the head of sequels here at Obsidian.
Sorry, people, I'm eating right now while I'm watching this.
Everything. Blockbuster movies to AAA video games to my first marriage. So trust me, I know what I'm doing. Come along on this journey with me. Part 2.
Okay.
Let the killing commence.
The Outer Worlds 2 is a sequel to The Outer Worlds 1. It's a continuation of the theme.
It's a good thing you told us that, because I never would have guessed. This is a sequel to The Outer Worlds 1.
This time we're able to go a lot deeper because we have more...
Outer Worlds 2? You're telling me this is a sequel to Outer Worlds 1? Are you telling me? I thought this is a sequel to Doom.
So we're going deeper and more complex with everything for this sequel. Deeper story, lore, RPG interactions, reactivity.
This game is getting deep.
We've been known for as a company. It's really a complete realization of everything people want from an Obsidian game. Surprisingly, this is the first time in over 25 years that I've had the chance to do a full sequel for a world that I co-create.
Not just a partial sequel, a full sequel.
To explore and expand the universe in interesting ways, and to go even further with the themes of how people are affected by living in a dystopian corporate reality.
You can shoot your way through it, you can talk your way through it, you can sneak your way through it. And so no matter what kind of play style that you like, this is...
What about sexy my way through it? Can I do that, beard man?
Even if it's your first one.
The first Outer Worlds was a great base to start.
Is that the guy that trains Canelo?
Elements of a great
Canelo?
RPG. Interesting characters, deep worlds, important choices.
talking about the boxer Canelo Alvarez, people. This guy looks sort of like his coach.
Give players even more of it.
We've also put a lot of investment into skills and traits that impact things like combat, conversations, and areas that we call RPG interactions, which are the part of the world where players can use their specific skills, perks, and backgrounds to solve problems in unique ways in our new, bigger worlds.
I love a deep RPG experience, and building out.
He loves a deep RPG. I love a deep RPG experience. I just love it deep.
We prioritize those deeper RPG.
I like a hard, deep RPG experience. I don't like it soft. I don't want to play easy video games.
Different equipment options for different play styles.
No Diddy.
And different companions with different abilities.
Sorry about that.
In the first Outer Worlds, you start off as the Stranger, which was basically a blank slate to build on top of with various attribute points that would begin to define your personal.
Now you play as a transsexual woman of color.
Kind of character you want, but we've given you a role. That role is an Earth Directorate agent.
That would be a funny spin, right? That's probably going to be in the next Last of Us.
Cowboys or Space Sky Marshals. They're the good guys that go into places and kind of fix everything that's wrong. You're going to be one of those. But we don't tell you why you joined the Earth Directorate. There could have been a lot of different reasons, right? It could have been because you're an actual lawbringer and you want to go in there and spread law throughout the galaxy. It could be that you're a roustabout and you just had nothing better to do. After you pick your...
I had nothing better to do than simply spread law.
While we had...
I am the law.
We've leaned into traits for the Outer Worlds too, which are these big changes to your character depending on which ones you pick. So it could be something like Brilliant, where you can tag extra skills and you start getting extra skill points.
Ah.
That's obviously really great if that's how you want.
Interesting.
You can also go and do something like Lucky, where you get extra critical chance, and you also get a lot of really cool options throughout the game as well. Of course, we brought back Dumb, so players love the Dumb option.
Tell me. Oh, that's offensive. That's offensive to dumb people.
Not quite what I meant, but I like your contempt for boundaries. I could put your adventurous spirit to good use.
And you get like lots of really cool, fun conversation options in the game, but we took that even further. And again, there's lots of elements in the game where you can be dumb and use that for something. Could be something as simple as...
Can I please be dumb? Can I have the option to be dumb? I'd like to be dumb.
After you've invested in some of your traits, your next choices are going to be choosing your skills. The skills themselves basically allow you to build on your playstyle and what your character is doing in the game. That will be everything from playing stealthily to speccing for an explosive specialty.
Nice, nice. Let's go to like Batman, the Batman game. They put the weird
journey, your character continues to
spray on slime.
You make. In the Outer Worlds 1, actually had more skills than we have, so we condensed them down to really the core and essence of what we really wanted there. But we made each point that you put into a skill much more impactful. So instead of getting small percentage changes, we actually did much larger changes per point that you put into each skill. And again, all these things, because of how they're checked inside the world itself, can matter quite a bit. You know, just even having one additional skill point in something can open up a lot more options in the world itself. If anybody's played Fallout New Vegas, they'll be very familiar with like the perk system. We basically borrowed that, but went even...
It's so weird that he just name drops like that. He's like, but bro, by the way, we ripped off this other game. We actually like that game more than our game, but our game is getting better, man. It's getting better.
The steel stuff and
creators of Undisputed Boxing should say that. Like, bro, we're getting really close to Fight Night Champion gameplay. We're close.
There's another perk called Heavy Handed, right? Where say you're a melee person, what this does is now your power attacks that you use actually knock people down.
Oh, whoa! You tell me I can knock people down in this game? You like the serial? This guy just said he likes the serial killer perk. What the F? Somebody needs to put this guy on a watch list.
These trophies, you could say.
Trophies?
It's giving you a permanent health bonus every time you do it. We have this perk called Assassin. Now, this is an early game perk that you can take, which every...
Look at the way this guy's dressed. This guy's like Boy Meets World chic.
A movement bonus for a certain amount of time.
This guy's stylish. He's a stabber right in the ass. Right in the ass. Damn. You got do you really need to stab him in the ass? Isn't that really an instant kill? The ass stab? Oh, right in the stomach. Wow, that must hurt. He's like, oh!
Flaws were a system that everybody loved from the first game, but we wanted to make it more personal to the player. We wanted it to really reflect how you were playing the game. And
we wanted our game more full of flaws.
To really engage with.
With the flaw system returning, we knew we
needed a game filled with flaws.
We turned to the team.
And we know that Fallout is known for being filled with flaws.
We need them to be real. I want to put them in the game, so give me something. Inspiration. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I have bad knees.
Oh, no.
They hurt when you walk a lot?
Yes.
When you walk too much, they hurt?
No cartilage.
Sounds boring. Makes you sound...
This is less funny than me.
It's a good flaw. What about you?
I like to take small things sometimes.
So you're stealing?
No, I'm taking.
When do you give them back?
I don't.
Claire.
Okay.
Yeah, you shouldn't be stealing. What are you doing? You shouldn't be stealing, Claire.
Tiny crimes.
Tiny crimes? Do you hear the second part, though? It's a crime.
Well,
You're stealing. Claire, that's wrong. You can't steal things, okay? But it's an amazing flaw, and I'm putting it in the game. But you're a bad person. And are you the one that took my stapler?
do you need it?
Yeah. Give it back.
Okay.
Please.
Oh, my God.
What do we got? Flaw.
They needed some canned laughter.
I like to stare at the sun.
How long did you stare at the sun?
Just lunch break.
An hour?
Oh, I only get 30. You guys get an hour?
I get an hour.
An hour.
Oh. Makes me feel energized.
How many fingers am I holding up?
3.
No. Anything else? We'll put it in the game. We'll put it in the game because I feel bad for you. Anything else?
One of my favorite flaws is something called bad knees. It will actually give you the option to take this flaw that'll make it so that you move faster throughout the game. But the problem is, anytime you stand up, your knees are going to make a loud popping noise that makes it so that, well, everyone around you is going to hear you.
Sound like he crapped himself.
This is really interesting because what it does is when you steal something, you can actually sell it for more bits than normal. And like that sounds really great. The drawback is
This is like one of those games where people just click on lots of stuff. I feel like people get off on that, like clicking things. It's like when I played games like BioShock, you gotta like point and click on every stupid item you pick up. Why can't I just walk over it and the character just automatically grabs it?
So everything becomes like light shafts and blooms and
light shafts.
And makes the game pretty unplayable if you happen to choose that perk. If you happen to be the
Great, a perk that makes the game unplayable.
like I do, well, you'll be offered the flaw of overprepared.
Why do you call it flaws?
You'll get larger magazine sizes on all of your weapons.
This game looks like Borderlands. Like, what the heck?
You're gonna take a debuff for a while.
That's another game I want to get into. Oh, Borderlands. Never got into it.
Gunslinger who wants to key into destructive weapons, or a rogue who wants to alpha strike their enemies before they know what hit them. We also allow for a lot of fun and experimental builds. You can be a mad scientist who utilizes gadgets and wacky science weapons and armors. Or even a psychopath who gains permanent bonuses to health by murdering their friends.
nothing shows the impact of these character build options better than, in my opinion, the bridge area, which has a quest you get early on in Paradise Island.
Oh my God, Xbox! So you're gonna talk all day about this game? Come on, I gotta play the first one. Was this first Outer Worlds good? Was it good?
But it really expresses our philosophy of allowing the player to solve problems in a bunch of ways. So you may solve it by, speech options. You may talk to them and maybe have to go do a quest for them. And
okay, nice.
You're a friend of the Protectorate to get.
The guy needs. Look at that. He's got a big piece of metal over his face. How's he supposed to see?
Seize an opportunity to show fealty to the Protectorate.
Very fashionable shoulder.
Blazing, and you can just take everyone out inside the POI, lower the bridge itself, and kind of get across.
Yeah, dude, should try to move around a little bit when somebody's pointing a gun at you, right? Interesting guns. They look sort of like what I would think a better looking Quake would look like.
Get over to the other side.
It's like a Halo door. It's like these massive doors. Again, a lot of this art design is very samey same. I mean, this looks like what Wolfenstein might look like if if they would have taken the old '90s original Wolfenstein and brought it up to modern graphics, right?
You can bypass the bridge entirely if you found certain gadgets, like the shield gadget that protects you from poison gas as you go across, or the double jump boots, which kind of allow you to jump across the chasm and get across that way.
No one makes guns like Doom, right? Like the Doom series.
Players can actually
those gun models.
Their companion who they just found is part of.
Why are they bleeping that?
No different than the breeze if we start tossing our own to the rats. I sure as law ain't gonna follow someone who can't see the wrong in it.
I must admit I'm surprised we could come to an understanding. But I thank you for your loyalty, stranger. As promised, you shall have clearance to cross this bridge.
It's such a fun quest, but again, it really showcases that we want you to be able to solve this in whatever way you want to. When you build your character your way, we're there for you. We really want you to have the experience that you want to have out of this.
Thank you. I really appreciate that you've done that for me. I'm gonna cry.
At the very beginning of our discussions about the Outer Worlds, we really knew we wanted...
Just so you guys know, this is a sequel.
This lets us expand on all aspects of the universe. Every colony can be its own thing with its own flavor, and we can center them around anything we want. Any ideas or setting we're interested in. Arcadia is an isolated colony with abundant resources, and it's run by an authoritarian faction called the Protectorate. Their dictatorship is thematically based around the question of how much freedom people will give up for security and luxury. Protectorate subjects, unfortunately, that answer is everything. The Protectorate is also incredibly wealthy because it was founded by the inventor of the skip drives, which are the Outer World's faster-than-light engines. But those skip drives are starting to cause rifts in space-time, which are cutting off all the other colonies on Earth.
I hate when that happens. I freaking hate when that happens.
The Order of the Ascendant is an offshoot of the Order of Scientific Inquiry from the original game, and like them are a science-based religion with the same goal of solving the universal equation, which will allow them to predict and alter the future to the benefit of all mankind. They used to be part of the Protectorate, but they split off to focus on solving the equation for the good of everyone, not as a way to simply control the masses.
Wait, you're trying to control the masses?
Arcadia as an Earth Directorate agent to find out how the skip drives are causing the rifts and what can be done to stop them. Each of the factions have their own solutions to the rift problem and their own goals. The Protectorate wants to close them to protect their legacy as the inventor of the drives and their wealth. The Order wants to close them not only for the good of everyone, but also because they're complicating the math they're using to solve the universal equation. And Antes just wants to be able to open and close them at will to control all the trade routes between the colonies.
Bro, our game's filled with symbolism, just so you know.
Expanding the themes and lore of the Outer Worlds.
Let's break up this serious shit by showing this.
It has its own flavor of absurdity. Ante's Choice is a merger between Anti-Cleo and Spacer's Choice from the original game, and there are corporate representatives in the Outer Worlds too. They've invaded Arcadia to liberate their resources for all of humanity, at a profit, of course.
One of my favorite things from Fallout New Vegas is the radio system. It was just iconic for me, and I wanted to make sure...
Stop bringing up another game.
So we actually built out...
Just so you guys know, we ripped this feature off from another game.
We also have a ton of music.
We just want you to know that.
We might have, like, I think 20 tracks of unique music that we've made for it. It's a lot of stuff. But the really cool part about this entire thing is that we actually put a lot of reactivity into the radio. So
I bet you they're making a lot of this music using AI for these titles, and that's a problem.
Let's say you solve a problem for the Protectorate folks. If you listen to the Protectorate radio station, they're going to be cheering you on as a hero.
Wonderful news, everyone. The Zeranium gas leaks at the Automech repair facility, strongly believed to be caused by Ante's Choice malefactors, have been corrected.
Some hotshot for hire just managed to fix the electrum leak in their repair facility. Now, I'm not saying we caused it in the first place, but we sure like the idea of all those broken auto mechanicals and all the excessive gasping and choking involved.
The factions and companions are great examples of how we're going deeper and more complex this time around. They're integrated into the game's storyline much more than we did on the first Outer Worlds, and like with everything else in the game, they have a lot more reactivity. There are 6 companions in the Outer Worlds too. As usual, each has their own quest lines, but this time they are also connected to a different faction and have character arcs that the player can affect through their choices. Your first companion is Niles. He's another Earth Directorate agent like you, and he's looking for your help to decide whether he wants to become an even better agent or to turn his back on the Earth Directorate completely. There's also a somewhat cute Automech support drone that is basically Niles' helper. Her name is Val.
Oh, sorry about that.
Marisol's part of the Order of the Ascendant, and she's an aging but still deadly assassin. That's right, she's a deadly mathematician who may or may not have some unfinished business to attend.
All right, we're looking at some of the comments of our many, many, many fans in here right now. People, we're burning. We got millions of people watching this show right now.
Her case, violence in general. You can choose to either turn her away from overt violence, or support her chaos.
All right, these are people commenting on this video.
At one time, Auntie's Choice had a program to grab
It's a lot of comments.
to make them more formidable.
This person said, "Where's Forza?"
Work, and most of them are now dead.
There's a bunch of Z's.
Medic who survived, however, named Inez.
Person thinks this is boring. The end. Bye, guys.
Finally, there's
skip.
Judge, jury, and executioner all rolled into one head.
What? Wake me up when it's over, please. These are just a bunch of trolls. Did Sony show any games at their showcase?
Have reactivity in the game based on how you've been treating your companions. I won't reveal the end of the game, but let's say if you have not been treating them.
Imagine being this hateful.
End of the game, what that means.
Give us Forza Horizon 6.
Companions are a very, very important part of merchandising because that's the real beauty of the sequel. We're talking merch, baby. It is the lifeblood. It is what fuels us. Do you want to see some of my ideas? Hop, hop.
Yeah, people, I'd much rather E3 than this overproduced stuff.
Like human beings for some reason, right?
Not a big fan of it.
Significant other. When you could have a knife-wielding space psycho up in your sheets, huh? What do they do with them when they get them, huh? Maybe a little napping. Maybe a little snuggling. Maybe a little nah.
Okay. Creepy.
The visuals of the first Outer Worlds depicted a frontier colony.
All right, now we're going to learn about the visuals.
Outer Worlds 2 is driven by an invasion of the Arcadia colony system by Auntie's Choice, which shifts the visuals to be more reminiscent of a World War I-like setting in space. That evolution is seen across all aspects of the game, starting with the factions. How do you militarize everything, including extreme capitalists or math-crazed scientists?
So how you doing, Bob?
One setting, war comes with
Just gonna check up on Bob, see what Bob thinks about this press conference so far.
Auntie's Choice uses it to help their bottom line. The Order just wants to show how it exists within the grand plan. We want players to feel like Arcadia is a living, breathing
Arcadia,
scarred by a long-standing war. Fairfield, one of the first towns you encounter, was once under Protectorate control, but has recently been taken over by Auntie's Choice. They don't just occupy the town, they rebrand.
Damn, these guys don't let you have choices.
Painting buildings, posting guards, and adding propaganda-based holograms featuring
cleaning that blood
and the Moon Man. Showing the towns evolving after the invasion helps us push immersion for our players. One of our priorities in visually realizing the world of the Outer Worlds 2 was making sure everything is clear and recognizable from the player standpoint. We want to make sure each faction has a particular look and design. So when the player is running across these vast, different environments and landscapes, they're recognizing the motifs and visuals of who they're talking to, what they're going to be talking about, and how that progresses throughout the story.
All right, so Bob says this is the greatest shadow known to man. It's true, people. It is damn true. Remember to subscribe. Once again, if you're coming in here for the first time, subscribe, and you're watching the Xbox showcase.
Other facets of the world, like government entities.
This is the Outer Worlds 2.
And then we elaborate on
Looks okay.
With larger environments, we wanted to encourage exploration by improving player mobility across the board. Now you can run, slide,
jump, sort of like Doom.
Through all of the nooks and crannies of these worlds.
It plays like every other first-person shooter.
Have fun finding really cool.
We got a double jump. Okay, people, it plays like BioShock. We took this feature from BioShock.
The RPG elements for the start, but that's touched our story, our art.
Guys, we got this running animation from Call of Duty 4.
A good sequel is true to the original. That's first and foremost, right? Like we all want to add in.
The guy isn't. He overshares.
Sequel, right? We want to make it bigger and better in every way. That's what we were trying to do here. And I thought we did not need this consultant. We've made enough sequels. We understand how to do this. And I will say, I don't.
Little disappointing to be honest, but they've got it out of the park for several consecutive years. So they earned an off year.
You may be thinking to yourself, it can't be that good.
I don't know if I would call it an off year because, like I said, they released Doom Eternal. They've released a lot of titles this year.
Your minds with my CON.
Only issue is that they put them on every system, but you know, I guess this is how they're gonna make more money, right? Putting it on everything.
Capitalize the fact that the people loved the first game.
I mean, there's nothing about this
giving out pounds.
Pre-recorded presentation that really is anywhere near as good as E3, you know. E3 crowd or this was kind of like
I am terrified.
They weren't really knocking it out the park with this.
I want to make them happy. So let's.
And then they ended the show with Call of Duty Black Ops 7. It's like what? You guys just put out Black Ops a few months ago.
Clap with me. Sweet.
It's like, by the way, more Black Ops.
Just say it. Sweet.
I mean, it looked good. It looked good. Well, whatever that was, they didn't show gameplay.
B. Burglarize. What is this? It's basically just finding new ways to loot dead bodies. You know what I mean?
Okay, is that something people like?
Okay. Well, it's a big.
I'm telling you, people like clicking on things in these games.
People are going to be angry that we.
It's like they get some kind of weird satisfaction out of clicking on everything.
No romance at all. We should look.
That's why I feel like that's what it is.
Huh? We can't have.
Even in BioShock, you would like take stuff from the characters, and their body would like move after you would grab an object.
Are you lying?
People just like pressing the A button a million times.
T. Trois. In French, that means two. Sequel.
I think that means 3.
Okay, you're getting ahead of yourself. Come on, Claire. We're on 2. And how do we end it? Anything is possible. And we've established that we're the best there is, and there's no sequel better than us.
Yes.
If I could just say one more thing. Thank you very much. I know I've kind of changed the world of video games today.
For The Outer Worlds 2, we wanted to improve gunplay in every way. We focused on improving the feel of each weapon, the way a weapon snaps into ADS, the way recoil feels when firing, and how impactful our sound effects really sell the weapon's fantasy, to things like how a unique reload animation can add a lot of character to each weapon. We've increased the variety of weapons by including new weapon types.
They had a gun in there that looked like that High on Life. That's what it looked like, the High on Life game.
Force blaster that fires out tumors that can explode like
tumors. What the heck?
Or can even be eaten by the player for additional health.
What? You're eating tumors?
We have a weapon called Rookie's Reward that will actually.
That's disgusting.
The more you use it throughout the game. And every time it levels up, it's got fun.
This is the only game on the market where you can eat tumors.
A fun little setup.
Oh, nice. Nice headshot.
Called the pop-up gun. It fires out ad drones that will distract your enemies with corporate ads, slogans, and...
that's interesting.
While your enemies are distracted, you can focus fire on them or explode these for additional damage. New.
Sort of like BioShock. You can throw drones out there and then blow them up.
Smoke grenades to camouflage and escape. Distraction devices to bait enemies into a stealth attack.
Oh, nice.
Even science grenades that will levitate enemies, allowing you to fire upon them while they float helplessly.
I mean, a lot of these abilities have been in other games. That's an ability I think they have in BioShock.
Are back. We have returning favorites like the Shrink Ray. This time it's been upgraded so you can shrink your enemy
that's funny.
the size of a sprat and run over them, exploding them into bits.
The Shrink Ray, that was probably my favorite one from the first game, so we brought it into the second game, but we improved it though. So instead of shrinking your enemies for a short period of time and having them re-expand, this time they stay shrunk, and we actually added in the ability to step on them and kind of squish them and kick them, because we knew that that was the player fantasy. We knew that's what everybody wanted to do. They wanted to step on the enemies. And
like, man, that's my fantasy. I just really want to shrink people and step on them. It's all like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids stuff in this show, huh?
We also have some really fun and unique new science weapons. One of them is called the Armageddon.
This one, they really need a big giant like blood spray like that for stepping on a little tiny thing.
Arms that will stick to people or cover all kinds of different things, and they will continue to just hit them until they get destroyed.
Interesting.
And we have another one that's just super cool called the Spectrum Dance Saber. This is a melee weapon that actually lets you attack to a musical beat. And if you continue to do that, you'll actually get additional...
That's kind of fun.
Each hit you do. One of my personal favorite weapons is called the Big Bang. It's just a big freaking gun that uses material harvested from rifts to shoot out a giant ball of energy, vaporizing everything in its path.
We call this the Game Destroyer. Looks like the game lagged when he shot that thing out there.
To devastating effects.
We call this the frame rate tanker.
Where Gary, he will lash out at your opponents as you're walking through combat.
That would be a funny ability, right? They call it the frame rate tanker. You shoot it off and the game shoots down to like 2 frames per second.
Science perspective.
Don't steal that idea from me, okay? But that would be funny.
There are some players who prefer to be immersed in a first-person view, taking in all of the details. But there are others who really prefer to take the world in from a third-person perspective.
Oh, now they got third person.
Well,
it's a pretty detailed model.
Between the two, letting you enjoy the experience.
Took them a while to get to that, huh?
One of the things I really like about having the third-person mode is being able to see all of the fun and unique armors and armor combinations and weapons that you can equip your player with. all of the actions that you could do in first person, so you're double jumping around, you get to see your character in that way. And you get to take...
It doesn't look as good in third person, the way they jump.
The Outer Worlds 2
All right.
is really the biggest game we've ever made. Bigger choices, more reactivity.
They dropped the mic moment right there. We got a third person view.
The worlds the players
Boom. Steps, he walks out the ring. Look at him. He's like, we need to zoom that. He needs to pee in the toilet. That's funny.
Even though we've always been a multi-project studio.
Yeah, no wiener.
It's going to be the first time we've ever released 3 games in 1 year. It feels amazing.
Oh, these guys got to be using AI. They put 3 games out in 1 year. What the hell?
It is truly an exciting time here at Obsidian. We're exploring worlds big and small while expanding on franchises that we've created, and we have no plans to slow down. We hope you all continue to come along with us as we do what we do best, make your worlds your way.
This is my world? No, this is your world. You made this. Cobbled together pieces of Borderlands and Fallout and whatever else. I mean, it looks kind of interesting. I might try to get into it. Never played the first one, but I've heard good things about it. The Outer Worlds 2. Yeah, baby. Oh, that's clever how they made the guy, the moon head, like the O.
We're all about the best.
All right, so they're going to be showing Grounded 2.
The promise of Xbox. You could play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it may be hard to play it when you're staring at all these beautiful holes. Let's cut.
Wow.
You could play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox. Oh yeah, now that's Microsoft. Or you could take a phone call on this Xbox, then play the Outer Worlds 2 right after. Excuse me, I'm getting a call. Hello? What am I doing? I'm playing the Outer Worlds. Hello? Yeah, this is Mark. I didn't know I had jury duty today. You could play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it takes 2 people to lug around safely.
There's not Xbox app on TVs? Is that what's going on?
Xbox you actually wear that also.
Oh, nice.
What do you think, Claire?
This is amazing.
Are you playing?
I think so.
Fantastic.
I might try to download an Xbox app on this, on the Quest 3.
I guess bread.
See how that is.
You ever play bread where you take it out of one slot, put it in the other? I don't have friends. If you pre-order the premium edition now, you'll get early access, which is like a prequel to the sequel, or as long.
Oh, it's a disc. Wow, amazing. Well, it's probably just a CD key, right?
At any time.
These guys don't want things to be physical ownership anymore.
My job here is done.
Interesting, they're showing the physical copy.
Portion of the Direct, which is sort of like the sequel to the Outer Worlds 2 portion of the Direct, which I absolutely just hit a home run with. You know, it's really nice to see my influence go on.
Look, the guy's not that funny, but what I appreciate is that he's trying, right? That's,
And big
it's me and him do, you got to try, people. You got to try. You got to fail. You could fail. It's okay to fail, right? All right, so this is a Grounded 2. I've never even played Grounded 1. But we'll watch this because it's part of the showcase.
We're so proud of Grounded. What started as a small passion project to make a quirky game where you're shrunk down to the size of an ant, trying to survive in a backyard.
Oh, I've always dreamt of being shrunk down to the size of an ant.
Over 25 million of you jumped in, explored, built, crafted, and fought off giant bugs together. Y'all helped make the entire
game
very special to us.
Egghead.
The team's been cooking up a ton for Grounded 2, and we're so excited to talk about it.
Oh, hi.
I had to grease some palms to steal a bit of time from the Direct to give you a deeper look.
Nice.
There were so many possibilities.
I got an elite control, bro. I'm elite.
So with the sequel, we have the chance to dream bigger. To achieve those dreams, we partnered with the amazing folks at Eidos Montreal. Together, we're taking Grounded from the backyard to an even larger world, the Brook Hollow Community Park.
Oh.
When we started working on Grounded 2, we knew that we wanted to make a bigger world. Fortunately for us, Eidos Montreal became our main partner on developing Grounded 2. They have a lot of similarities to the sorts of things that are important to us at Obsidian. They tend to make very narratively strong games. They make games with really deep characters and great characters.
It's kind of odd to make this the showpiece of your whole press conference here, right? These 2 titles.
Thrilled and honored to be working with.
Oh no, this looks to me like a very Nintendo-like game.
Share a lot of DNA. The same things that are important to Obsidian Entertainment are important to us. Choice and consequences, player communities, and doing justice to great IPs and great franchises. The fact that we're the first partners that they're working with to make a sequel to their franchise feels like we're an important part of their history.
The events of Grounded 2 take place 2 years after the first game. The same 4 teenagers are returning.
They should have just got the Honey I Shrunk the Kids license, right?
Willow.
And Pete. Okay, the token white kid.
Which means they've gone through a bit more high school, a bit more mature. It's 1992. The world's a little bit different. But we're still in that fun, nostalgic era of the early 1990s. In Grounded 2, we're moving the action out of the backyard and into the Brook Hollow Community Park. Not only is it bigger, it allows us to tell a lot more stories and expand the world of Grounded by exploring what the community of Brook Hollow has been up to and what they've been through.
The park overall is about 3 times the size of the backyard, and our initial starting area is actually the same size as the entire backyard from the first Grounded. The reason we wanted to move into a park wasn't just to create a bigger world, but was to give us the opportunity to explore the community of Brook Hollow and what secrets have they been hiding.
What we love and what we're excited about in terms of the park is the opportunity to create environments and landmarks that are mundane at normal size, but are colossal wonders when you're the size of an ant. Everything from a giant trash can to a community picnic table or a snack bar. All of these areas come to life in a brand new way.
Part of the fun in Grounded 2 is that the park was evacuated really quickly right before our teens were shrunk. And that means that the park has been sort of turned upside down. And
why was it evacuated?
Topsy-turvy state.
What?
And that leads to really fun environmental storytelling, but it also leads into the creation of amazing biomes for our characters to explore. One of my favorite examples of this is the ice cream cart. In all the commotion, the ice cream vendor's cart has been knocked over and its contents have spilled out into the ground. And what this means for our young adventurers is that they'll be able to explore this frozen...
You're going to explore ice cream like you never had before, guys.
And colorful...
Aren't you excited?
...crafty horror.
We have one anthill that's actually somebody decided to bury a bunch of toxic stuff in the park. And so there's all these toxic chemicals under the ground. The environment looks very cool and very spooky with all of these sort of chemical pools. And of course, nothing can live down there except for one type of insect, the cockroach.
Oh no.
Oftentimes reinventing environments, and in future updates...
We're taking cockroach physics to a whole new level, guys. Grounded 2. It's coming soon. Cockroach physics.
Just wanted to look better. We also wanted to add a new layer of strategy. The changes that we've made aren't limited to tuning animations or adjusting attack or defense numbers or making characters or insects move faster or slower. But we did all that too, but there's also an entire sort of rock, paper, scissors strategy involving light attacks, heavy attacks, and blocking.
Oh, that was this God of War?
Also added dashing as a new way to...
Oh, nice. That's cool. Well, I appreciate that. Add that layer, the extra layer of playability, right? I actually makes me want to play it.
The insects in the game will have these abilities now too.
It's like basic for like old video games, you know. But a lot of games I really didn't have that. They just make it like a really dumb hack and slash where you just stand in front of a character and just ram one button. A lot of games, they don't add that kind of extra layer, right? I can never understand that. Like people like turn-based combat. Like I like to play games that are challenging. I mean, I can't. You know, as a kid, I played the NES, the Super NES. Why am I gonna want to play the dumbed-down games where you just stand in front of an enemy and press one button and it just kills them? Obviously, first-person shooters work like that, but you know, you have to aim. You have to have some accuracy.
Will there be passive mutations, but there will also be active mutations.
You gotta add some nuance to the gameplay, right? You can't just have the guys standing in front of a giant spider and just slamming on one button.
Game-breaking builds. And that's why I'm so excited for what we're doing.
This guy's a little too excited.
In Grounded 2. I'm all in on the rogue. Now, you can even dual-wield daggers. I've been diving into this glass cannon build that stacks ambush, assassin, and cardio fan mutations with the Wolfbane.
Some weird like purple stuff on that knife.
Combat with massive backstab damage that also.
Bro, this guy likes to backstab people.
Stamina
Can't trust that guy.
And try to dodge, rinse, and
massive backstab damage.
Reward and absolute chaos in all the best way.
He likes to backstab people, if you know what I mean.
Wild combos the community comes up with, and what they inevitably break once they get their hands on the archetype system. It's going to be awesome watching it evolve with player feedback and watching us try to keep up with all of your game-breaking builds.
One of the great things about Grounded is the variety of players it attracts, from builders to crafters and everything in between. If you've ever watched me on Casually Grounded livestream, you'd know that I'm neither. I am a murderer.
Oh, she's a murderer. Oh, all right.
Personally, I prefer the term harvester. I love going out, hitting things, and bringing the materials like insect body parts back to my friends to use. This way, we keep progressing and playing together.
We're also trying to make sure that armor and equipment are easily understood by the player, especially when they're playing co-op with their friends. It was really, really important for us to deliver on all of that for the bigger space and experience, because that was the only way we could truly support the.
That's one of the big things the Xbox has been pushing for a long time that people have missed. The Xbox is about having a community that actually plays games together. This is one of the reasons these guys are, one of the main reasons the Xbox is knocking it out the park compared to Sony. Sony seems like they just want people to play by themselves, play with themselves, right? Not by themselves.
And that making sure that buggies
by themselves, you know, have these kind of like single player experiences. I mean, they're pulling the online out of basically all these Sony games, right? It's all single player stuff, a movie-based experiences. They want you to go through the game, beat it in like 10 hours, then jump to the next movie game. The Xbox, they build these games to kind of like have legs, so you could play some of these titles for years, right? Grounded is a game that's been out for I think over a year. Obviously, this is a sequel. But they're adding that kind of the online component to it, but just adding to it.
Right alongside you and provide support. The Orb Weaver buggies.
It's not just about a single player experience on their platform.
Like building a base or harvesting, but they're awesome when it comes to combat. Sure, their defenses aren't super strong, but they're heavy hitters. They're also super fast, and they have some great special abilities, like a scream that allows them to stun lesser-powered insects, and the ability to shoot webs and entangle other creatures.
Damn, he's shooting that web. That dude is really
base building buggy.
It's pretty sexy shooting that web like that, right? You got pretty. Game looks pretty damn good.
In combat. Red Ant Soldiers and Orb Weaver Spider will be available at game preview launch. There will be others in the future, but those are the two we're starting with. The connection that our Grounded community has with us is something we want to keep forging with the sequel as we make an even bigger game than the original.
Pretty much from day one, we knew we wanted to return to game preview for Grounded 2. Sure, it comes with some trade-offs, like the game's not done and it's out to the world, but there's so much value in building it alongside the community. Buggies change how you traverse and navigate the park. What we're doing with Grounded 2 is we're actually keeping zip lines held back so we can see how players engage with buggies, and then we can tweak zip lines to bring them back over time to really complement that buggy experience and make exploring the park far more fun. That kind of feedback loop helped shape the original Grounded, and we wanted to shape the design for Brook Hollow Park, archetypes, buggies, all of it. We also learned a lot from that first time around. One thing that stood out immediately, players blaze through our content, especially the story. That makes sense.
They should make it look like that, right? That'd be cool.
That's kind of Obsidian's thing.
They use photogrammetry and make it look like this.
So this time, we're starting with a much bigger baseline.
There's been an explosion at Brook Hollow Park. Chaos descended on a ceremony commemorating the 2-year anniversary of when 4 teenagers were miniaturized against their will.
What?
One of our favorite parts of the first game was watching the community uncover clues and spin up theories. This time around, we're leaning even more into that, and we'll be keeping a close eye on what our players discover and how they interpret it. because you never know what might inspire us.
So I'm gonna try out that first Grounded.
Started to hit our groove.
I even as a kid, I really liked Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. So I mean, I would have loved this if I was a little kid. Probably would have been really into this, but never played it. It's on Game Pass. I'm gonna give it a try.
With update pacing and scope, and what we found resonated the most with all of you were bigger, beefier updates, even if it took us a little longer to land. So,
all right,
larger, more complete updates.
These guys are landing
just enough so we can take your feedback seriously and make every drop count. You can expect in our updates, new buggies, new biomes.
Oh, what? New buggies?
All the good stuff. And we're launching with a public roadmap so everyone knows what to be excited about in the future.
All of us at Obsidian Entertainment and Eidos Montreal are
Grounded 2
how close we are to let
Ultra Shrinkage Edition
a second time and explore the all-new park on buggies in Grounded 2. If you're a returning Grounded player, we're really looking forward to you experiencing all the improvements. If this is your first
Grounded 2, the Ice Palace. It takes place in a park covered in snow.
Awaits you.
Grounded 2 Ultra Shrinkage Edition.
Time to ride together and survive together.
Only in this game can you ride on an ant. This summer, get ready for Grounded 2. Oh, yo, that's a nice amp. Grounded 2. Oh, that was cute. That was cute, right, guys? Okay, October 29th. July 29th, you got Grounded 2. It's not too far from now. What is this? Okay, so I guess they're running it all down now. It's like, this is what we showed. That looked like Titanfall. That the Black Ops 7 looked like Titanfall, the way that map looked. Maybe it's set in the Titanfall land, huh? Maybe that's what's going on.
Let's do this.
I should show people like what I meant when I said that looked like Titanfall. Or maybe they're blending, like I said, maybe they're blending the two worlds. All right, maybe there's some Easter eggs in there. See, that game looked good. Yeah, they just showed it for a second. Come on.
Here we go.
All right, not exactly the best showcase, but there was some interesting stuff about it, I guess. A lot of stuff coming to Game Pass.
Well, hello there. It looks like you're about to do some renovations.
Okay, we got Bob in the comments. Bob says it's cute, but it's very Nintendo fan for me. I'm a grown-up crying face. So am I, Bob. So am I.
Mayday! Mayday! Code 1 to mission control. We're falling!
All right, so people, this is the Xbox Showcase. There was some interesting looking stuff. Now, it looks to be no exclusives at all, but that's how Xbox wants it, right? It's just Game Pass day one. Not a big fan of how that new Gears of War doesn't give you a free copy after you purchase. This was one of the most interesting things about the show, I think, was this ROG handheld integration. Right? Says thank you for watching. Yes. All right, people, that was the Xbox Game Showcase. What'd you guys think? We'll do a scale from 1 to 10. If you thought it was good, 1 to 10, put a number in the comment section. All right. All right. So I'm gonna look up real quick see if they got any information on the ROG. Not too big on this format. I am not a fan at all of this whole, pre-recorded show stuff. Not huge into it. There's actually people in the Xbox room that are writing a number review for this. What the hell? Wait, they listening to me somehow? Maybe they're watching the show, right? They're watching the show and the Xbox Showcase. I mean, who wouldn't, people? This is you're watching the Real Food TV, people, the greatest channel on demand, right? You're watching Food Gaming Live. Maybe I might play some games later on. I might play a game. Might play Alex Jones the game. El Barbarino in the comments says 425. I don't know what the... Oh, you got a 425. I guess that's her rating there. Yeah, it was a little disappointing. I mean, come on. But again, I really miss E3. It might have been a little different if this was an E3. You know, big crowd there, and they built us up. But I thought there was a lot of slow moments in that showcase. I give it like a 6, right? A lot of slow moments in there. They probably should have put some of those more edgy games towards the end, really end the show strong, right? Kind of a weird ending. He's like, oh, we have one more game to show. And then they show Black Ops 6. I'm like, wow, shocker. You got another Black Ops? I thought it was going to end up being Gears of War Emergence Day, right? We've never... You announced Call of Duty 7 or Black Ops 7. Okay. I mean, it looked kind of interesting. It didn't really look like a Call of Duty game. It looked like something from like... It didn't really look like a Call of Duty game. It looked a lot like something that was made by the team, like my Remedy, the team that made Alan Wake. That's what it looked like. Okay, 1 second. I just got to adjust some audio stuff here really quick. Technical crap. Yeah, it looked like a game that was made by Remedy. Remedy, again, the guys that made Max Payne and Alan Wake. But yeah, again, I give the show about a 6. Not too many surprises. Nothing really blowing me away. There's that one game with the Asian dude that looks sort of like Metal Gear. I thought that looked kind of cool. So, you know, some games that look kind of okay, but nothing really blowing me away. They didn't show Perfect Dark. You know, I'm kind of surprised by that. Let's see it. What happened? That, you know, the Perfect Dark reboot. We didn't see any of that. No Gears of War. Nothing about Halo. Just not really a lot going on. Nothing too mind-blowing there. All right, I'm going to go look for some video on that ROG. On the ROG Xbox. Okay, so ROG. Ally X. All right, was that what it was called? Okay, so someone has a trailer here that says the first Xbox handheld. 1 hour ago, they have it on this Linus Tech Tips. They already have it on there. The ROG Xbox Ally. I'm going to see if they have the price for that online. I'm actually kind of interested. That has the integration. It has the Xbox integration, which I'm really interested in that because I do have Game Pass. And it would be kind of nice to be able to play those titles natively on a handheld. The Steam Deck doesn't support it. Like, there are Xbox games on there, but you have to purchase them. That Game Pass does not work on a Steam Deck. I feel like that's a missed opportunity. I don't know why they didn't make it native on the Steam Deck, the Xbox application. But I guess it's some money stuff going on there. They probably got a better deal with Ally. All right, we're gonna watch a little of this video right now. But before we do, remember to subscribe to the Real Food TV, the greatest channel on demand. All right, it's really, really amazing. If you're new here, remember to subscribe. Okay, 1 second.
It's an Xbox. It's an ROG Ally. It's the Xbox ROG Ally X. And there's a lot to unpack here because this is loaded with things that I have never seen before.
1 second,
starters,
people.
This is
I have to lower this music. That's way too loud. Then we're gonna watch this video. This Linus is gonna talk about. This guy's got one of the most popular tech pages on UCylinder. ShitTube. All right, we're gonna listen to what he has to say about this.
My very first
about this portable here.
Hands-on with the AMD Ryzen Z2 Extreme, a Zen 5 16CU mobile gaming monster, if my first impressions are anything to go by. It's also the first time a third-party PC has ever borne the Xbox name. And even bigger, yes, and even those two other things, this is the first time that the Xbox team has been given the power to dive under the hood and fundamentally alter the gaming experience on Windows. I'm talking Xbox team code right into the Windows branch. Like, your PC boots directly to an Xbox full screen UI that brings together all your favorite games across Game Pass, Windows, and even leading third.
Is this going to be better than the damn app on the PC? Because I just really do not like the Xbox Game Pass app on the PC. It's just not very good, okay?
Party app stores. Not only that, but the Xbox team was given the power to trim the fat, so to speak, meaning that in the new gaming UI, non-essential processes, even the Windows desktop, are simply not loaded, which frees up substantial system resources.
It sounds very good. It does. There's a lot of overhead when you're running Windows. It's one of the reasons the Steam Deck runs Linux. All right, we got Technique here in the comments. 1 second. It says, I don't have a Steam Deck, I just have an Xbox, but Game Pass is not the worst. I really like Game Pass. I think it's one of the best, if not the best service out there, right? And in a lot of ways, it's kind of leaning us more towards a future where we don't own games. Game Pass is the perfect platform, perfect model for the future of not owning software, because what they're doing is they're charging you by the month. So it only favors Game Pass when they bring up the prices of games. So like you look at Nintendo, they're over here pushing games that are $80, $70, and $90. The Xbox would in many ways would welcome $100, even $200, it don't even matter. You put out they're probably Xbox probably over here like you got Phil Spencer probably rubbing his hands together, right? All evil. He's probably like, yeah, let's make the games $150 each. Because all it does is build up Game Pass. Why? Because Game Pass gives you access to brand new titles that just came out for $10 to $15 a month, and you're getting access to these games. So it's bringing in a lot more revenue, because it was studied many years ago that most people that purchase games, even when they were $50 or $60, would only purchase about 1 to 2 games a year. So, this developer might make a decent amount of money. They put out a title, right? And they get a decent amount of money, hopefully, right? People buy that title, but after they buy that title, they're kind of done for the year. This is why I think in a lot of ways, they've abandoned the idea of online gaming. And that's because people would buy that one title and just play it nonstop. They might even play that forever. I know my brother's like obsessed with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, right? The first one. He plays that all the time. That's all he plays. He doesn't care about playing any of the other ones, right? And that's because he loves that online, right? He loves those maps. He's learned them and all that. So he's just going to keep playing that one. So that kind of prevents from buying the other ones. He don't care to buy the other ones. He already likes this one. That's maybe one of the fears that Sony might have. But once again, going back to the whole thing about the Game Pass, these higher prices actually help the Xbox and their Game Pass. They want to charge you by the month, because in the end, they're making way more money with this model than they are with just selling singular titles, right? Just selling like 1 or 2 games a year. But they still do have that model. They still do, you can still buy these games that way. But with the Game Pass, again, it only favors them when the prices go up. But this device does look kind of interesting with that integration. The Xbox team is actually working on it. It actually has Game Pass integration. So for myself, I have a Game Pass. I've had Game Pass for years. And so I just find this to be kind of cool to have it through a portable. Because if you go through Steam and a lot of those titles, you actually can't even play these Xbox games online. You could buy them and play their single player, but you can't play them online. See? All right. Come on, Xbox. You guys got to work with Steam, right? You got to work with Valve and get this stuff worked out. But, all right.
They're quoting 2 gigabytes of RAM savings now, and have made it very clear that they're not done yet. It's cliche, folks, but Valve appears to have awakened the giant, and this thing could be a game changer for handheld PC gaming.
No pun
intended.
intended.
It's also cliche, but here's a segue to our sponsor.
War Thunder. Experience a detail-packed vehicle combat game with thousands of realistically modeled air.
Can't do it.
The big, kind of funky-looking elephant in the room. This is not a slim, sleek console like the Nintendo Switch 2. But that decision was made for a number of very good reasons.
Looks like an Xbox
controls.
The
goal from the Xbox team was to take the Xbox controller experience and translate that to a handheld PC.
Whoa, what has got on that screen? What is he watching on that screen? Is that pornographic? What the hell?
Means large, contoured grips, full size.
They got a Steam logo. That's probably what it is. It's like, no. He's like, F them. Do not show that logo.
Analog sticks, a subtly angled screen to improve neck ergonomics, and in the X version, impulse triggers like we first saw with the Xbox One. I assumed Microsoft wouldn't provide competing devices at this first look, so I brought a whole backpack of them, and the most obvious one is, of course, the original Ally, and the interface is extremely similar with only the...
See, look, I like those controls. It's actually kind of cool. I like that. They said it earlier in the stream, that those actually have what do you call them? The impulse triggers. Same stuff you find on the Xbox Series and the Xbox One console. What Sony ripped off. I prefer the Xbox triggers with their impulse triggers to the PlayStation triggers. They do all kinds of weird, stupid, gimmicky garbage. Those triggers on the PS5 controller, garbage. They're garbage. I'm not a big fan of them. And they do this weird, they do vibrations, but it's just not as good as the Xbox. It's really not.
Rhombus-shaped Xbox button really being added by comparison.
I remember I was playing Uncharted 4 on the PS5 controller. On that fake remaster they have on the PS5, that feature's annoying. That one where it's like tension in the triggers, it feels terrible, and it makes your aiming really imprecise.
To access the Game Bar overlay and Armory Crate, which raises an interesting question. What's the Armory Crate button here for then? I don't know. I've asked if maybe it could be a reconfigurable macro button going forward. I got a firm maybe on that. Realistically, a lot of things are still up in the air on this. The back is completely different and really shows how much ASUS, probably with some help from the Microsoft team, has learned about ergonomics over the last couple of years. Even though this is a heavy device, very much like the Ally X, which at least managed to lose the squared off corners, it feels lighter. And I was really unsure about the angled screen. Honestly, I kind of thought I'd hate it, but
I want to see some games running on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go forward and see if they actually run some software. We probably want to hear about the screen, right? Looks like they showed the weight.
Obviously, the middle section is way thicker and it's noticeably heavier. But from a packability standpoint, it's actually less wide, and you do get the benefit of larger face buttons, though you lose the touchpads that many Steam Deck users really love. As for the Switch 2, I had intended to talk more about this comparison, but it's clear from looking at them that these are entirely different classes of device, and the customer for one is simply not going to be the customer for the other, I don't think. Bottom line, while the weight might be a turnoff for some, I think they nailed the ergonomics on this, though ironically, it actually feels a little closer to the curves of the DualSense than it does to the Xbox controller. Not that I'm saying that's a bad thing. Now, I mentioned there are two versions of the Xbox Ally, and there are enough differences between them that you will not want to accidentally buy the wrong one. From the outside, the X version is black versus white, with impulse triggers and an upgraded Thunderbolt-compatible USB 4 port next to the regular USB 3.2 Gen 2. This port allows the use of powerful external GPUs. But
I just gotta say, that's kind of awesome, isn't that? That's actually a really cool feature. That's something that the Steam Deck should have done. I've actually seen people do stuff like open the Steam Deck and connect GPUs to it, but they have to do it in some weird kind of like, bubblegum shoestring kind of way. It's really bootleg. These guys actually have a port in there where you could take this thing, plug it into your TV, and plug a GPU into it. I think that's awesome, right? And so that when you have this docked, you have this much even more intense experience. So if you want to run everything at 4K or something, just plug a larger GPU into that.
That's about it. Across both, we get the same I/O that will be familiar to owners.
I was talking about this one of my ideas in a previous stream a few months ago, where I talked about that, where they should have a dock. Basically, a dock that's more powerful than the unit you have. So you have the portable unit, right? This is similar to what Nintendo does, where they have it where you dock it and now it gets more energy. So the games can run at a little bit higher settings. But the issue with that is that it's still the same system, right? What I'm thinking of is you sell people the handheld. It costs you could sell it, maybe even $300 would be a good price, $300 to $400, and it's got a very good experience for a handheld. And then when they dock it, it's like basically you're docking it into a high-end GPU. So you go and you slide it in there, and boom, now you get this high-end experience. It just adds on to what you already have in that system. It's basically an external GPU. Like, do that kind of thing.
generation Allies with a volume rocker, UHS-2 microSD card, 3.5mm combo jack, and a power button with Windows Hello fingerprint reading. No biggie so far then. But inside, these are very, very different beasts. The Xbox Ally X features a cutting-edge AMD Ryzen Z2 Extreme processor with 3 Zen 5 and 5 Zen 5C cores,
Was that $1 million?
24 gigs of lightning fast, 8,000 megatransfer per second LPDDR5X memory, a terabyte of storage, and a whopping 80 watt-hour battery. The Xbox Ally Non-X does not have all of those things. And while
I like how they color coded it just like the Xbox. You know, you have the white Xbox, which is kind of like the less powerful one. Then you have the black one that's the ultra powerful. This is a bit racist, isn't it? I feel like this is a little racist.
It's a little lighter, at least. It's not even smaller, and particularly disappointing to me was the inclusion of an, albeit tuned version, of AMD's Ryzen Z2A processor, which from early leaks appears to be very similar to the Zen 2-based Aerith processor from the original Steam Deck, which was announced 4 years ago. Now to be clear, these are both current gen machines in other ways. They both use 80mm M.2 SSDs for easier upgrades. They both got Wi-Fi 6E, and they both come with a reasonably speedy 65-watt charger, but the Non-X is weaker by enough that Microsoft explicitly positions it as a 720p gaming console, which makes one of the other similarities between the two devices kind of unexpected. See, the screen is the same between both models, and actually, for that matter, the same as previous versions of the Ally. 1080p, 120Hz with FreeSync Premium variable refresh rate, and 500 nits peak brightness. So I guess on this one, you're either gonna render out a lower resolution or rely on AMD's FSR upscaling in order to reach native. In either case, it's an okay display. It's good enough that I still daily drive an Ally, but it is not on par with the eye-popping HDR, instantaneous response times, or incredible low brightness night gaming comfort of the Steam Deck OLED. One of my first questions then was, with such different hardware across the product family, how is Xbox going to manage gamers' expectations and work with publishers to optimize the experience? The answer to this is a little complex, but it is worth hearing because it gives us tremendous insight into Microsoft's vision for this device and for Xbox more broadly. Like Valve, Microsoft is working on a verified program of sorts. But unlike Valve, Microsoft obviously won't have just one piece of hardware to target, meaning I wouldn't expect to see an Xbox Ally setting in the graphics quality drop down anytime soon. So what are they going to be doing then?
I hope their integration reaches from the console to this thing. I have to go learn about this more, read about it. Hopefully they put out a bunch of information today. But if I buy a game on Xbox on the console, I should be able to play and own that title on this thing, right? Is that what they're talking about? If not, then what the hell's the point, right? I mean, I understand that it's a handheld, but yeah, come on. And also, let's skip ahead. Is this thing more powerful than an Xbox One Series X? What's the specs on? Like, how powerful is this? Let's see some real world performance here, man. Come on, Ratman. Sorry. I don't want to be offensive. Sorry.
For one thing, they're going to be validating the usability elements, just like Valve does. Does the game support a controller? Does text scale correctly on smaller, higher DPI displays? As for the performance side, well, the strategy is going to involve using Windows telemetry data, including specs of your machine, the game you're playing, and gaming frame rates, to group similar systems together to give gamers a rough idea of which titles will perform well. All of this is going to be presented in the game library of the Xbox full screen experience. And I'm going to come back to the game library in a second because
I hope they transfer this system to the PC, okay? Because again, the Xbox app on PC is kind of garbage. It's kind of garbage. So it's clunky. It's hard to set stuff up on there. So this looks to be sort of like Steam. This looks like Steam's big picture mode. Xbox finally doing it, right?
First, I gotta say, the UI looks slick. And more importantly, it's the first thing you'll see when you boot up your handheld or wake it up from sleep. They've done so much here. On top of the resource optimization that I mentioned earlier, the Xbox team has a really cool multitasking interface that gives you quick access to a browser or Discord, and they claim they have already managed to triple the efficiency of standby, with a ton more work coming to make this the most console-like PC experience you've ever had. None of which is to say that you will lose out on any of the good things about gaming on Windows. Compatibility is expected to be on par with regular Windows, and should you desire a more desktop-like experience, you can access that using the joysticks as a mouse or with standard peripherals, either connected directly or through a dock.
Okay.
The system will just load up the necessary Windows processes and hopefully put them back to sleep when you go back to the Xbox full screen experience. They didn't have a firm answer on that one. Nor did they have a firm answer on how Windows updates are going to be managed. Are they going to be more Windows-like with the constant interruptions and the background resource hogging and the flavin'? Or are they going to be more Xbox-like? TBD. Okay, let's come back to the game library now. The idea here was to bring all your games together in one place. And I know, I can already see the XKCD comic in my mind's eye. But this implementation looks like one that I might actually want to use, bringing together your Windows games, your Game Pass games, your cloud-streamed games, and even remote play from your Xbox console, allowing you to quickly and easily synchronize your progress and achievements and your recently played titles so you can just grab and go and game anywhere. The new game bar also, honestly, kind of sick. For the first time ever, I have wanted a hotkey to access the game bar. Who'd have thunk it? Instead of a big, cluttery full-screen interface, they used the shoulder buttons to flip through menus in a way that was, honestly, intuitive to me within seconds of my hands-on time. They also showed off gamepad support, by the way, for entering pins from the Windows lock screen. It was super cool. And all of this sounds great, at least for the privileged few who own an Xbox Ally X, but what about the rest of us? Well, coming back to the vision. Hiding away at the bottom of one of the slides was a very interesting little nugget that described these innovations as being great for handhelds like the Xbox Ally and Ally X. That like is doing a lot of heavy lifting. While the highlight today is obviously the partnership with Asus ROG.
My guess is hopefully this application they made here works on a Steam Deck. Let's hope.
When the Xbox team got jacked into Windows development, it seems to me that they weren't tasked with cleaning up Windows gaming for one premium handheld device. My impression is that they were tasked with cleaning it up more broadly and bringing it in line with Microsoft's vision that in the future, every screen is an Xbox. So I think that at some point, we can expect general Windows users to benefit immensely from these developments, many of which are positioned as long-term projects that will be constantly improved with feedback from both partners and from gamers, which is a really good thing because while I couldn't get a firm answer on pricing of these new allies, I'm expecting them to be more in line with previous allies.
That's my guess. Yeah, it's pricey.
Than with Microsoft's traditional console competitors. They're gonna hurt a little. Hurt almost as much as I feel like the Xbox folks watching people like me lament the death of handheld gaming on Windows have hurt. First, they must have been hurt because they knew that what we were saying was true and they were powerless to fix it. And then it must have hurt because they knew that they'd finally been given the power to do something, to fix Windows gaming, but they've been stuck operating in stealth mode. Well, now that the cat's out of the bag and they're ready to talk about it, the energy is palpable, both from Asus and Microsoft, and also from the other folks that have laid hands.
All right, so that's extremely expensive. If that's the case, hopefully they can get this to an affordable cost, right? Affordable price. All right, I'd like to see some real-world performance on that. We'll be looking at that in another stream. We've been here for a while. I'm gonna be getting out of here in a minute. 1 second, please. All right, so that's Linus talking about that device. All right. We've been on for, let's see, I've been on here for 2 hours. We're going to be getting out of here. I want to thank everybody that came in here and watched this live showcase on the Real Food TV, the greatest channel known to man. Remember to subscribe, people. Me and Bob are some of the hardest working people in the world. Just got to say it. It's just a fact. Might be back later today. Might play some games, maybe talk about, some other stuff. Maybe do a different kind of show. Maybe watch a movie. Who knows what? Who knows? It's just things going on all the time over here on the Real Food TV. All right. But have yourselves a good day, everybody. See you later.